If you're scrolling through endless options for a small room sofa, you're probably wondering if there's anything that actually saves space without forcing you into a stiff, uncomfortable bench. You want something that reclines, stores a few blankets, and looks like it belongs in a modern apartment, not a showroom full of glossy photos. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. That's the exact spot where the Star20XX Franklin recliner set tries to make its case. It's marketed as a wall hugger, two-piece set that includes a full-size sofa and a Loveseat, each with manual recline and a little console storage. On paper that sounds perfect for a city flat. You push the sofa against the wall, you get a recline that doesn't need a whole wall of clearance, and you have a hidden compartment for remote controls, magazines, or that extra throw you keep losing. But the real question is whether the design translates to everyday life, and whether the price tag actually buys you comfort and convenience, or just a gimmick you'll end up fighting with. First, let's talk about the space-saving claim. The wall hugger design uses a pivoting mechanism that lets the seat tilt back while the backrest slides forward, keeping the overall depth of the piece roughly the same as a non-reclining couch. In my own studio, I measured the depth at about 30 inches when fully upright, and when I pulled the recline back, the seat moved back only a couple of inches. That means you can place the sofa right up against a wall, and still let a guest kick back for a movie night without the whole thing swinging out into the room. For anyone who lives in a studio, a one-bedroom, or a narrow hallway that doubles as a sitting area, that saving of even a foot of clearance feels tangible. It's not a miracle if you need a full-lay recline that stretches out like a chaise. You'll still need a little space, but for the typical, I want a recliner, but I can't afford a whole wall scenario, it works. Comfort is where the rubber meets the road. The seats use a combination of memory foam padding covered in charcoal microfiber, which the manufacturer describes as leatherette. The memory foam gives a gentle sink when you first sit, then it levels out as you settle. In practice, it feels similar to a mid-range office chair cushion, soft enough to be inviting, firm enough to support a couple of hours of streaming. The manual lever is a small metal bar you pull up. It's not a hydraulic push, so there's a slight click as the mechanism locks into place. That click is reassuring, not noisy, and it lets you set the angle anywhere between upright and about a 110-degree recline. If you're the type who likes to adjust in small increments for reading versus watching TV, the manual system actually gives you more control than many power recliners that only offer preset positions. Now for the storage console on the Loveseat. It's a lift top that opens to reveal a shallow compartment, and under that a second, deeper shelf that runs the length of the seat. I tested it by stashing a stack of board games, a couple of blankets, and a small basket of kids' toys. The lift top stayed level even when the seat was reclined, and the deeper shelf could hold about 1,215 pounds without sagging. For families with kids, that means you can hide clutter without adding another coffee table that takes up floor space. For a couple who just wants a place to keep remotes and a few magazines, the space feels a bit generous, but it's there when you need it. The construction mixes plywood, pine, and metal framing. The metal brackets that hold the reclining mechanism feel sturdy. They don't wobble when I shift weight from one side to the other. The outer shell is a woven microfiber that resists pet hair and light spills better than a fabric sofa, and the charcoal color is neutral enough to blend with most decor. One practical downside I noticed is the upholstery's tendency to attract lint in a dry cleanly environment. If you have a lot of cats, or live in a dusty city, you'll need to vacuum the surface regularly. Also, because the recline is manual, the lever can be a bit stiff the first few times you use it, especially if the foam hasn't fully broken in. After a week of daily use, the action smoothed out, but it's something to be aware of if you expect a buttery glide out of the box. Who should buy this set? If you have a living area of under 200 square feet, or you've tried to fit a regular recliner into a corner only to end up with a cramped layout, the Franklin set is a solid answer. It's also a good fit for renters who can't install a wall-mounted system, but still want the recline experience. The console storage makes it appealing for anyone who values a tidy look without buying a separate side table. On the other hand, if you're looking for a deep-lie lounge chair for napping,